Heavy metal and rock and roll, and certainly no stranger to this studio, so please help me welcome back Mr. Ozzy Osbourne.
How you doing, mate?
How you doing, Ozzy?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you. Now, the last time you actually came in the studio was about a year ago now. You were just about to embark on your new American tour.
Yeah, the Ultimate Sin tour, yeah.
Right, so why don't we pick things up where we left them off, and what are your main memories of that tour?
Very hard work. It took us 9 months to complete the tour. Very tiresome. Which at the end, I mean, in the middle of the tour, I did the small part in Trick or Treat, as you all know. Right,
right. But this American tour you've just done, I mean, it seems every time you go to America, there's always, like, controversy, public outrage.
Oh, yeah, it's like, I mean, I was as hassled as usual by the evangelists, and they all wanted to turn me back into a human being again. You know, I think they sometimes somehow think that their task in life is to convert me to Christianity, which is...
I know they seem to... I was going to ask you, they always seem to single you out. What is it you think it is about Ozzy Osbourne that drives all these straight types into a frenzy?
I suppose it's a sign of success. I suppose the amount of adverse publicity I've accumulated over the years is a good vehicle for them to say that what I'm doing is wrong and bad for the youth of America and the world and what, you know. But, you know, I've got to pick on someone.
I just think they're jealous, actually.
Maybe so. Maybe I get more people at my rock concerts than I do at their churches, I suppose.
All right, let's have a look at some Ozzy Osbourne now. And this is Rock and Roll Rebel. Oh, Rock and Roll Rebel there.
Lovely term of the English language at that one point in that song, wasn't it?
I didn't hear that bit, Ozzy, I wouldn't know. We're still on this American tour that you did last year, another one of your vast American tours.
Well, in actual fact, what happened, halfway through into Japan, I picked up this virus, like Wang Chang flu or something, and it kept with me for about 3 or 4 months after, and it was really difficult for the rest of the tour. After about March or April, it got really hard work to do, you know.
Well, did you just feel weak all the time?
I mean, I took a week off, and then I thought, I'll feel great now. Start touring again. It was like, you know, down I went again. But we got through it the best way we could. That's the only difficult thing when you're touring, and we are subjected to colds and flus and, you know, headaches and whatever what everybody else gets. But we can't stop. We got to carry on because people get disappointed if you cancel shows, you know.
Right.
I know in Seattle we had to cancel. It was just one of these things. We rescheduled the Seattle gig 3 or 4 times, but each time we come around to doing the Seattle show, I got sick again. So like, the promoter was doing his nut, you know. It was really genuine. I was really sick. Even when I went to Donington, I was just... Last year I was like, you know, at the end of the show I just collapsed in the back of the trailer. I had no life energy.
Tell me, Ozzy, do you find that, I mean, taking on these mega long tours, do you find that it gets easier or tougher?
No, what I'm doing, I'm going to do it because you see, not only do a tour, I promote as well, you know. And now with this filming thing, it's like doing one more and a video. We do videos as well as that, and it's like all that like music, television's done really is make the job a lot harder. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and pace myself in the future. I'm not going to go out to sort of see how fast I can kill myself because, you know, I ain't getting any younger, and I don't feel that I need to tour for like a year at a time anymore.
Right.
I want to tour, sure I do, but I want to do it like and come home like without going to my shrink and screaming at the door, I'm going nuts again. You know?
Well, it's funny you should say it, because I wanted to ask you, I mean, just at the end of that tour last year, we started getting all these strange stories in the press here about Ozzy's
What actually happened was I knew that if I'd have come home straight away that I would have been, you know, the English side wanted me to do press, you know, and all the rest of it, you know, what goes with it. So I thought, well, I've never really been on my own. I've always got like a bodyguard or my wife or someone there to sort of say, but by the way, while we're in town, so can we just do this quick interview?
Right.
I didn't want to do anything. So I didn't cut my head bald. So, you know what everybody said I'd gone like to Tibet, wasn't it?
Well, we heard loads of different things.
How'd you get there? It's turned, you know, I don't know.
But you did chop off your hair?
No, I cut it short because my hair was in such a bad state after having all this gel and this junk for the tour, and the lights had baked down, and it was just like breaking off. So I cut it short, cut all the dye out.
Well, let's have a look at a video of you now sprouting a bit of hair, and this is Ozzy at the moon. Now, Ozzy, one of the other things you got up to last year, which you mentioned briefly earlier on, was your first crack at a bit of film acting.
Yeah, it was. The part came very easy for me because, I mean, I didn't have to learn the script. I just remembered what people keep shouting at me, you know. So.
It was a film called Trick or Treat, and it also had.
I acted a part of an evangelist priest condemning rock and roll.
Which obviously you've had a bit of experience of.
Yeah, well, I see when I do movies, I like to do parts that people go, no, I don't believe it's him doing that, you know. Like, I I mean, if I do, the scripts I've been offered, I mean, like, you know, things like the Phantom of this and the Axe Murderer of that, you know. It's not really what I want to do. I want to do interesting parts that people think, you know, I don't believe it. Is it really Ozzy doing that part, you know? It's like, oh, you know, I've been up at thousands of new parts, so I'm thinking of doing...
Is this something you're going to pursue now, like a film?
Yeah, but I'm not going to say, like, become a film actor and forget rock and roll. I think nowadays with music television and with more it's like it used to be this thing where actors make rock records. Now it's more rock stars make films. I think that's stemmed from videos, like, you know, in MTV in America and all this. And there's so much elaborate work going into a lot of these videos now that it's like a condensed version of a film. So it comes as like a second breath, you know, to doing it. And to be honest with you, that part in Trick or Treat was so easier to do than making a rock video.
Really?
Because, I mean, on that Bark at the Moon video there, it took hours to put the makeup on and hours to get these guys to know what they're doing. Whereas if a guy, Charles Martin Smith just said, this is what I want you to do this and do that, and it was over in 2 hours.
All right, well, let's have a look at that now. This is Ozzy Osbourne here in a film called Trick or Treat.
Demonic beast. What happened to the good old simple love song? I love you. That's a good word to use. Nowadays, they have to write some sickness. It's just absolutely sick and bizarre, and I'm going to do my utmost best to try and stop it now.
Anything you'd like to say in conclusion?
These evil people have just got to be stopped.
Get ready to dance, everybody, yeah?
Rock Commander is a celebration of rock and metal culture. Manage your own rock bands, connect with a passionate community, and experience exclusive collaborations with real bands like American Chaos and Visions of Atlantis.
Yeah, I think you definitely get the Oscar for that one.
I mean, I phoned my mother and she's saying, oh, son, you're now in movies. That was it. Anybody think I just made some great epic film? That was the end of it. That's all I did.
Gene Simmons from Kiss was also...
Yeah. I never actually saw Gene because we all did our little parts in different days, but I spoke to him after and he said it was a lot of fun to do.
Right.
He's made quite a few films, actually.
So what do you think, Ozzy? Can we expect a cameo in Miami Vice or something?
No, funnily enough, I was offered a part with as a cameo part in Miami Vice, but it got pulled because of that lawsuit from that kid whose parents are suing me for the suicide solution thing, whereupon he shot himself.
Right. What can I ask you what the update on that situation
is? Well,
they
went to the court again, and the judge threw it out of the court, but I'm led to believe that now they're going to the higher court of appeal, which I don't know whether it'll go through or not, but they have to carry it through now, because if they say, all right, then we made a mistake, then they're admitting defeat and all other kinds of things can happen then. But I have to fight it because if I don't fight it, it's going to give every wacko an excuse to come and throw another one down at me. And I have to answer to a court thing when I'm served a summons for a writ, whatever they're called. I have to get a lawyer to defend my case, which it's not just a financial thing that gets on my case. It's it's the time, and you've got to sit there and saying you're talking about something that you imagine trying to defend yourself and over something that you don't even think
I know, it's such an absurd situation.
It's worth doing, but you have to do it,
Have you ever felt tempted, though? I mean, with all this pressure that you get in America to cool down, calm down, compromise.
I don't know. I mean, the thing about it is, I mean, the bottom line is a lot of these things I've done have got me a lot of publicity, and that's the name of the game. And I don't purposely go and think, oh, I'll go and chew the next door's cat up, head up today, and that'll get me the front page of the Sun. I don't do that on purpose. It just so happens that when I get in a bar, I see a few drinks get out, and I end up in some bizarre state,
All right, Ozzy, let's have a bit of more rock and roll now. This is Ozzy Osbourne and Shot in the Dark. Now, Ozzy, to bring things bang up to date, you've finally released probably the most fascinating heavy metal album of the year so far.
Yeah, well, it's
Randy Rhoads Tribute live album.
Yeah. You just asked me before we went on the air, how come it took so long? And a lot of people have been asking me the same question. And the reason being is because I didn't feel that I had the right to put the album out without the blessings of his mother, because although I lost a very dear friend and a colleague, she lost a son, and, you know, his family lost a brother or a sister, whatever the thing is. And so Mrs. Rhoads and my wife were talking before Christmas, and she happened to mention to my wife it'd be a good idea to put the album out. Do you still have it? And where have I put it, you know? So I went dashing around, we found it, and I hadn't heard it since his death.
I think just for our younger viewers who might be a little puzzled, I should explain very quickly that Randy was the guitarist that you formed your first band with after leaving
Yeah,
Saturn,
that's correct.
who tragically died in an airplane crash
in 1981.
82.
Was it 82?
Beginning of 82. And now, of course, this live album is taken from performances that you and Randy...
Actually, I was quite surprised how good the quality of the recording was. I mean, he plays a stunning guitar solo on Suicide Solutions. I mean, it's amazing.
Where was it all taken from one recording or different shows?
Most of it was at one show, but there's about one side of the album was taken from another show in Canada, because we originally was going to put this out on the Speak of the Devil album, but then when he died, I said, forget it, I don't want to release a live album of someone that's not hardly been dead a month yet. So I was Candice and went in and recorded all the old Sabbath stuff for Speak of the Devil, and I just put this in a cupboard in my house and forgot about it.
Right. Now, straight away, of course...
Oh, it's gone whizzing up the charts. First week it went to number 51, now it's gone to number 19. It's been out less than 2 weeks.
Wow.
It's selling like crazy. I mean, I was just saying to you before that I did an in-store about a week ago in Miami, and nearly every kid who came to the shop had the album, which is very unusual for that. You generally get them come with, you know, the catalogue of 53 albums of different bootlegs and whatnot, you know. But
right.
The reaction in America has been ridiculous.
All right, Ozzy. Now, there's a special video to go out with the album, right?
Yeah, it's a video of a live... It's part of a little bit of live footing of Randy Rhoads, but we had very little of him. So we just made a kind of a collage of different things with it, you know, so...
All right.
Check it out.
All right, let's have a look. Let's check it out. This is on Randy Rhoads live with Crazy Train. Now, we haven't seen that video on the show before, and I think we've got it exclusively, haven't we?
Yeah. In actual fact, it's hot off the press.
Hot off the press.
I've only finished it about a week ago.
Ozzy, can I ask you, how do you feel when you look back and you see the clips of what Randy played?
Well, it's like, when I first heard the album, first of all, I couldn't really listen to it all the way through, 'cause it just... Although I've had many guitar players since his death playing the similarity of his licks, there's nobody plays it like the original guy, you know. It's like when you hear a Hendrix record and you hear somebody say, Christ, this guy's as good as Hendrix. When you hear the original guy do it, it just blows all the rest of it away. Then I slowly but surely come to terms with the fact, and I suppose... In one respect, it's helped us all out who were there when he died, and his parents, and that, because it's let us all go, yeah, you know, it is over now, you know.
Right.
He ain't going to come back, you know.
Right.
But I miss him every day. I mean, it's just a very tragic loss for us all who knew him.
Now, staying on the subject of guitarists, of course, the irony, it seems to me, just as you've released this album, the chap that came in almost to replace Randy, Jakey Lee, is now no longer a part of your band.
I must emphasise, it's nothing to do with the fact of releasing this album that Jake left. It was just a time, it happened to fall into the time of the album that we decided to part company. There's no hard feelings as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure Jake doesn't feel angry towards me. I hope he doesn't, but... you know, it's just time for him to do his own thing. I mean, we both took as much off each other, you know, as a team. And now I'm looking for a young guy, a guy with a lot of fire, an animal on guitar, you know. But, you know, I'm sure Jake will get his own thing together and do equally as well. Good luck to him, you know. So what as we speak, you don't actually have a guitarist in the band? No, I don't. I'm guitarless.
So, I mean... I
may go on yodeling next week, but I'm going to guitar.
You must have already had a mountain of tapes.
I've been going around America doing radio shows and TV things and whatnot, and putting it on the air. I'd like to send tapes to CBS Records. And there's been literally sackfuls of them.
Did you get my tape, though?
Not yet.
All right, Ozzy, so obviously it's too early to talk about going back on the road and so forth.
I'll definitely have one by the beginning of next year, and hopefully I'll have an album. So it'll be next year that I'll be doing a tour. I won't be touring this year, I suppose. What I want to do again, I want to start from scratch again with this guitar player thing, and like on the beginning of this Randy Rhoads situation, we went out to small clubs to see if we could play together. And what I'm going to might do, I'm not saying I am, and don't anybody to go, please play up where. I'm just going to go and unannounce myself and play, you know, some small clubs around the country, because that's great fun just to get back to it.
When was the last time you actually got up in a tiny little club somewhere?
About 1981, 82,
Really?
80. Just to there's no rehearsal like a gig. You can rehearse in a hall for months, and then when you get on stage, someone will go, I can't go through it, you know, start getting shakes and things. So I just say, like, get up, learn the songs. We're gonna get in a van and we're gonna stay in a bed and breakfast and get some like oily chips in the morning, you know.
Ozzy, tell me, now, over your long career, I think to date you've sold something like over 40, 50 million records.
I wouldn't know.
We had a band in here earlier today called Poison who just sold their first million. What would be your advice to them to go on and sell the next 39?
Stick at it, you know. Just keep at what you do. Do what you do best, and don't try and become something that you're not. You didn't start out to be, because, like, you'll always get the advice of people say, we need to go more commercial. You've got to now paint your hair pink, and you've now got to wear one shoe. Because just do what you really want to do. But do it from your heart, not from somebody else's suggestions.
All right, Ozzy. Well, on those fine words, I think it's time to say goodbye to everybody on the show.
Bye.
Thanks very much for coming in today, Ozzy. Good luck with the future.
My pleasure,
Good luck
really.
with the album. Let's go out now with Ozzy Osbourne and The Ultimate Cinema. We'll see you next week.